So the next topic, the next workshop for the day is conversations. Kind of prudent. We were just talking about two-way conversations within RCS, but now we're going to talk about how message media is bringing conversations to you, our developer community. So I thought I'd set the scene with a little bit of background, some graphs, some numbers. Now this is a really interesting study, well, that I found interesting, I'll be honest, by McKinsey, and it was looking at demographics under the age of 25, and it was looking at people that have a level of buying power, have a smartphone, so probably looking at above 13, above 15-year-olds. So just keep that in your mind when looking at this data. So on average, these people spent 315 minutes online a day. That visual representation is not a 12-hour representation, it's a 24-hour representation and does not include the concept of waking hours. So 315 minutes a day, let's say about a fifth of their time, pretty huge. We've got some changing demographics. These under 25s use social media 45% of the time to engage with a business for customer service activities. Now that's compared to calling up on a phone, sending in an email or a web form, goodness forbid, or contacting you via an in-app sort of ability to have chat. 45% is quite a massive number. A bigger number though, more than 50% of these people under the age of 25, sort of above 13, above 15, do this, are using social media to reach out to a business for customer service activities solely on their mobile device. So it kind of says to me, businesses need to be accessible via mobile devices, via social media to help them. But the data gets more compelling. So customers' expectations are changing. Another survey done by a company called Facebook, with Nielsen involved back in 2016, had some really compelling figures. So 67% of people that responded to the survey, and there were a couple of thousand people, it was pretty broad, 67% of them simply expected that they would be able to message a business. Not call them, not email them, not visit a website, not go into their store, message them. They just simply expected it was there. And if it wasn't there, it was unusual. 53% of those that responded said they were more likely to shop, to engage, to purchase, to use that service or that company's products if they had the ability to message them directly. So there's obviously a level of confidence that's being provided by just simply having it there, even if they don't use it. And furthering customers' expectation, what messaging within a social media context or a social app context means is getting a bit blurry. So 2016, about the time that the Universal Profile was published by the GSMA for RCS, Facebook changed their Messenger application, and on the upgrade, asked users on the upgrade itself, do you want Facebook Messenger to be the default SMS application? So now Facebook, quite conveniently, now have your mobile phone number, which they may or may not use in the future, but it's kind of blurring the lines with what a messaging app for a social media platform is. Now you get SMS from mum and nan and pa with all of your normal chat conversations with your friends and other social groups. Blurring it even further, WhatsApp in India have a trial for payments, for banking. Now this has a little over 1 million people. It's going very well, but did we really expect payments from a messaging platform? I mean, WhatsApp is, if you've used it, it's kind of pretty rudimentary. It's pictures, stickers, colourful wallpaper, and banking if you're in India. So where these messaging channels are heading, it's really, really interesting. And to see where it might be in the future, obviously WeChat. So WeChat was peer-to-peer messaging that kind of grew up. Application to messaging got involved. You were able to buy things, pay for things, walk into stores, pay with a QR voucher on the device, find out where your friends are, get some food delivered, watch it being delivered. You can tell when the person's going to knock on the door, or simply file for divorce at a single tap. This is a messaging app, and you're able to do so much within it. So the lines are kind of blurring, but I think what it means is people expect to do more, and they're always in these applications. So I think I'd want my brand to be in those applications. Now this was really telling. So Kakao did some research to compare kind of what businesses want, what consumers want from just outcomes, customer service outcomes. If you're wanting to know something, if you're wanting to change booking, all of that sort of stuff. And I found businesses prefer speed. If any of you have worked in any kind of an inbound call center or looking at time for any sort of business activity where a customer is engaged, we want the time to be small. We want 2 rings, not 3 rings to pick up. We want the call dealt with within 5 minutes. We want customer outcomes as fast as possible because we think that makes them really happy. They can go and do whatever it is that they were doing. Except it's not what they want. So the research actually suggested customers care more about getting a quality outcome, even if it takes longer, even if it takes much longer. So in a social context, in a messaging context, what do we have to do to ensure that customers get their outcome, even if it takes a bit longer? We have to ensure conversation continuity. Now, conversation continuity is just a kind of a funny word to describe the fact that the conversation continues. You don't close the tab and your little web chat dies. How many people in the room have experienced that situation where you're using web chat, you're having a great time, you're interrupted, you're taken away, you come back, your chat has been disconnected due to inactivity. It's frustrating as hell because you were so close to getting that outcome achieved. So you start the new chat. Hi, I'm John, how can I help you today? That's an example where there is not an existence of conversation continuity. What the brand knows about you is lost. What you know about that person is lost. What you want to do is simply take the conversation with you. Change devices, change networks, change countries. Leave it for a couple of days. Go on holiday, come back, continue it. The brand knows everything about you, you know everything about the brand. You see your full conversation history on your phone, on your tablet, on your work computer, on your home computer, on Nana's computer. It doesn't matter. You are willing to wait a little bit longer to get a quality outcome. And you can be considered in your responses, as can the business. And they can be informal with you, so it doesn't feel like a really weird, stale conversation. Hi, I'm John, how can I help you today? You can drop the formality. So which channels have we chosen as part of our conversation technology? I don't think that's a massive surprise. Facebook Messenger. Has anyone used Facebook Messenger in the room? Yep. Yeah, a few people. Yeah, there's about 1.3 billion people globally that use Facebook Messenger. It's a devastatingly popular channel, even more so if you stack Western nations into that mix. It's an absolute runaway crazy success, quite amazing. So that's a huge population percentage, 17.5. Let's assume newborns don't have phones, so that percentage grows pretty dramatically. Now, why have we chosen Facebook? It's already home to businesses. So already each month, 2 billion messages are exchanged between businesses and consumers today. It's not foreign. In fact, probably everyone in the room has communicated with a business or looked up details relating to a business using their Facebook page. Perhaps you engaged with them for an event. Perhaps you looked up their opening hours. Perhaps you grabbed their phone number. Perhaps you tapped message me or contact us on the Facebook page and then seamlessly turning to a Messenger implementation and having a chat and everything's done and you're happy. And a couple of weeks later, you still find that chat in Messenger, and that's the conversation continuity that we were talking about. That little booking reference that you were told about a couple of weeks ago for that thing that you bought, well, it's there. You can find it. It's really, really easy. And Facebook help us. Facebook make it really, really easy for us to make it easy for customers of Message Media's customers to reach out. I mean, how many times have you probably seen that button today? Message us. It's just a little bit of JavaScript using the Facebook branding that you can pop on your website. Click Message Us, opens up in that user's social media page, so the Facebook page that they're using Messenger. And away they go, chat, 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 chat. You get a little bit of information about them, they get a little bit of information about you, and you start that lifelong conversation to resolve their issues, solve a problem, facilitate some sort of questions that are being asked. Or my favourite, their customer chat plugin. Currently in beta. It's pretty gorgeous. I don't think they're going to leave it in beta for all that long. It's an ability to chuck a little bit of JavaScript in the head of a web page, and you get a little beautiful floating messenger bubble. That little bubble on the bottom right-hand corner just floats in the page. Tap that, you're asked to continue as the Facebook user that you're currently logged in as, and then you start a conversation. You don't leave the web page. It doesn't feel like you're using Facebook, but it's seamless and it's all integrated back to Facebook, so you have that conversation continuity. And of course, starting the conversation. Sometimes you don't have people visiting your website. Sometimes you have a problem where people aren't using the mobile applications that you've invested quite a lot in. Perhaps you want to ensure your customers can reach out to you, that know you have a presence, because we know the stats say they're more likely to shop with you if they know that they can message you. So let them reach out to you. Use the inbuilt m.me short link. That's ours. You can use it today. It simply opens your Messenger app and you can communicate with us today. And anyone can use this. I can use this. I've got an m.me link. Everyone in the room probably has an m.me link. We can simply use that in our outbound communications, whether it's SMS, MMS, or even RCS, if we want to pivot that communication back to a social media channel. But it's not just Facebook. It's this one. Owned by Facebook, admittedly, but WhatsApp. WhatsApp is an absolute runaway success. You probably heard that they were purchased for an obtuse amount of money a couple of years ago. Fun little fact, WhatsApp was not kind of a conscious branding decision. The founders hired a developer just on a contracting website to kind of hash out the first version of it, and they had to give the project a name in the code, so it was a play on What's Up. And it stuck. So there you go, all the marketing gurus. Just a cheeky Eastern European developer will come up with all your branding. So WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a massive success. They're obviously starting pretty light. Text, images, stickers, opening up the WhatsApp for Business in Latin America earlier this year for very, very, very small businesses, sort of 1 and 2 employee businesses throughout Latin America. Took off, went really, really well, hugely successful. Early in August, opened up the API, and it's obviously going to be one of our channels. Now, why? It's huge. These numbers are dizzying. 1.5 billion users globally, 20% of the global population, if you exclude all the people that are too old and too young and don't have mobile phones that can install WhatsApp. It's a devastatingly large proportion of the world's population. So they're probably going to have the app. You probably want to have your brand exposed within WhatsApp. And WhatsApp users are a little bit addicted to their technology. On average, 23 times per day, and they're spending about half an hour on the app each day. So of their 315 minutes that they're spending on day for the under 25s, a big chunk of that is actually dedicated to WhatsApp. I think they spend all day just looking at messaging and looking at stuff that's coming in. So certainly, if you wanted to get a pretty captive audience that's always going back to this application, I think WhatsApp feels like a really elegant place to have your brand positioned. And of course, thanks to Facebook, we have the wa.me links. Just like Facebook, you can include these links, tap by the recipient, it'll open up the WhatsApp application with this person as the sender ID. You'll notice it doesn't say message media, it does have the phone number. WhatsApp's still in that slightly strange concept where you are a phone number. You don't actually have to do a lot for a profile within WhatsApp. Probably what's developed such a massive following, the end-to-end encryption, just enough information to create a profile, no more, but it's still a fabulously popular messaging application. Now, a bit of a challenge with WhatsApp, when somebody reaches out to you as a consumer, you don't get much. You don't really get their name because they haven't provided their name to WhatsApp, but it's not really about that. It's about making your business accessible in those social media apps that they spend all of their time in so that they have the confidence and the knowledge that they can reach out to you and 53% of the time, they're more likely to spend or shop or work with your service. So conversations in message media, how do we kind of make that work? Well, I'm a product manager and I do pictures, not tables, so I thought I'd do some pictures. We've got a consumer on the left-hand side. They are quite happy until something goes wrong. They've got a question, something's broken. So they open up their smartphone, they use the channel of choice. Doesn't matter, they use whichever one they want. That filters down to a single repository within message media, single APIs, single webhooks, single interfaces. It's resolved by the operator in our interfaces or within your applications where the webhooks have been delivered, and that's passed all the way through to the social media channel that they have used to interact with you. You do not use a message media application down here at the consumer end. The consumers use the same social media, the same accounts, the same apps, or the same desktop client, don't care, as they use today. Once you integrate your page or integrate your WhatsApp registered number, that business profile, you will capture them through to message media and downstream to our other interfaces. I do love pictures. I hope that has explained how it does work, but we're wanting to play with APIs, so we'll obviously be talking about the Conversations API today. But it's really important to remember, it doesn't actually matter which channel the consumer uses. You integrate that channel into message media and it works seamlessly. You want to add the customer service little button from Facebook, integrate it to the page, it'll seamlessly work with message media. There is nothing unique you have to do. So why? Why would I do this? We don't have to share the username and password. You don't have to worry about somebody being away for the day, password having to change with Facebook, needing to get in and respond to someone, can't do it. Somebody's left the organization. Do we change the password? Did we revoke it? Did we make her an admin user? You don't actually have to worry about that. Once you've done the integration, it doesn't care. It's all token-based authentication. Integrate once, forever benefit. That's what we really enjoy about it. You don't have to deal with breaking changes. And oh my goodness, are there breaking changes. WhatsApp at the moment release breaking changes every 30 days. Facebook do it a little more randomly and they give you a little bit more notice, but they are kind of serious. So we take on that headache of the breaking changes. We deal with all the permissions management. You simply authenticate the app and you're presented with our Conversations API. You can integrate to, catch the webhooks, do polling, however you want to do. We'll talk about webhooks later today, so I don't want to hear about any of you polling after you hear that wonderful presentation from Ben. But it's a really wonderful time saver. And it's functionality that grows over time. You may integrate to an application and kind of consider it done, don't really want to invest ongoing. Well, we do with this sort of stuff. And we want to make that accessible via our API. So if WhatsApp or Facebook release a new functionality and you want to add that to some of your conversational technology, we will support that and we will make that accessible to you over time. Also, something that is pretty exciting for me, I'm a product manager, so I like pictures, is a concept of multi-channel conversational inbox. It's all very well to have a whole bunch of webhooks and a nice API, but what if there was a business user? What if there was a smaller business that couldn't kind of develop or needed to have a little bit of validation? And that's why we've got the multi-channel conversational inbox. We've got a lot of data about the people that you're interacting with. You're seeing information through a whole variety of channels, but that is coming soon. We will be able to talk about that later 2018 into 2019, but I think it shows our commitment to this conversational technology, having consumers reach out via the brands they know and love, WhatsApp, Facebook, communicate to the brands they want to deal with and message whenever they want. Have that conversation continuity over time and have a single endpoint that they can just connect to and saturate all of the web pages with all of the Facebook stuff. Perhaps you might get a little bit clever with your inbound call centers if you want to sort of ditch some traffic at high volume periods. Send them an SMS with a URL so that they can start a chat. Remember, customers prefer to take a little bit more time to get a quality outcome. Leverage that. Don't staff your inbound call centers high. Keep it low. Switch to chat. They'll probably love you for it. And those that don't want to do it, they'll just stay on hold. Their experience doesn't change.